If you're not first, you're last, right? Well, that's not necessarily the case when it comes to the NHL draft. We saw multiple Norris Trophy winning defensemen and a center that would have been the face of any other team, all taken at number 2 in the same decade. Then there's also an elite goal scorer that found himself charged with second-degree vehicular homicide. With that in mind, we take a look at what happened to every second overall pick from the 2000s. The 2000 NHL Draft, the Atlanta Thrashers select Danny Heatley. The first NHL entry draft of the new millennium saw the New York Islanders select goaltender Riek DiPietro first overall, a pick that I'm sure aged incredibly well. With pick number 2, the Atlanta Thrashers went for a sniper that would one day score 50 goals, albeit for another team. Prior to being drafted, Heatley opted to play college hockey in the United States rather than major junior in Canada, suiting up with the University of Wisconsin Badgers of the WCHA. Heatley put up 56 points in his freshman season and was named WCHA Rookie of the Year. After being selected by the Thrashers, Heatley put up a further 57 points in his sophomore season and opted to make the jump to pro for the 2001-2002 campaign. Playing in all 82 games with Atlanta, Heatley led all NHL rookies in points with 67 and assists with 41, second in rookie scoring to teammate Ilya Kovalchuk. For his efforts, he won the Calder Memorial Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year. In 2002-2003, Heatley cemented himself as a star at the NHL level, recording 41 goals and 89 points in 77 games, a campaign that saw him finish 9th overall in league scoring. But on September 29, 2003, Heatley was involved in a serious car accident that took the life of one of his teammates. Police allege Heatley was driving his Ferrari 360 Modena at approximately 130 kilometers per hour down a narrow, curved residential Atlanta road when he spun out of control and smashed into a brick and wrought iron fence. The car was shredded in half, and Heatley's passenger, 30-year-old teammate Dan Snyder, ejected 30 feet from the vehicle. Suffering from a fractured skull, he underwent 2 hours of emergency brain surgery but never emerged from his coma. Heatley suffered a broken jaw, a minor concussion, a bruised leg, and kidney in the crash, and also underwent surgery to repair his knee. Heatley had consumed alcohol but was not impaired during the crash. As tests showed, he was well below the state's legal limit. Ultimately, he pleaded guilty to charges including second-degree vehicular homicide and was sentenced to 3 years probation. Heatley wouldn't rejoin the Thrashers until January 2004 and played in only 31 games, putting up 25 points. During the 04-05 NHL lockout, Heatley played in the Swiss National League and Russian Super League, but took a puck to the eye and broke his orbital bone, his left pupil becoming permanently dilated. Before the lockout ended, Heatley asked to be traded from Atlanta in hopes of leaving reminders of the tragic crash behind. On August 23, 2005, the Thrashers sent him to the Ottawa Senators in exchange for star forward Marian Hossa and veteran defenseman Greg DeVries. A restricted free agent at the time, Heatley immediately signed a 3-year, $13.5 million contract with the Sens. In his first game with his new team versus the rival Toronto Maple Leafs, Heatley became the second ever NHL player to score a shootout goal, beating Leafs goaltender Ed Belfour moments after captain Daniel Alfredsson was the first. Heatley continued his spectacular start in the nation's capital by registering points in the first 22 games of the season, thus setting a new franchise record. Among players with new teams, this was only one behind Wayne Gretzky's 23-game streak upon joining the LA Kings. In Ottawa, Heatley formed a dynamic top line with Jason Spezza and Daniel Alfredsson. They became known as the Cash Line, standing for Captain Alfredsson, Spezza, Heatley, or the Pizza Line, from a promotion where if the Senators scored at least 5 goals in a home game, then all the fans in attendance received a free slice from Pizza Pizza. This happened 10 times out of the 41 regular season home games in the 2005-2006 season, and 5 times in the 06-07 season. Danny Heatley also became the only Senator to ever score 50 goals in a season in 2005-2006, and did it again the next year. The Senators went all the way to the 2007 Stanley Cup Final, but fell to the Anaheim Ducks in 5 games. Hoping to repeat their deep playoff run, the Senators signed Heatley to a 6-year contract extension worth $45 million, but their season was plagued with injuries, and they were swept in the first round by the Pittsburgh Penguins. The 2008-09 season was met with decreased production for Heatley and the entire pizza line, with the team missing the playoffs. Coming off his lowest points total since his rookie season at 72, Heatley requested a trade, despite being only 1 year into his big extension. Fans and media alike blasted Heatley for this, calling him an entitled brat. After a few trade proposals that were rejected by the player's no-trade clause, Heatley was dealt to the San Jose Sharks, along with a 5th-round pick for Milan McCulloch, Jonathan Chicho, and a 2nd-round pick. In his first game in front of San Jose fans, Heatley put up a hat trick with a penalty shot goal in the 3rd period. He recorded 39 goals and 82 points in his first year in California. He wasn't exactly welcomed in his return to Ottawa, receiving frequent boos from the crowd. Several fans who attended the game taped up their number 15 Heatley jerseys so the nameplate would spell out hate. Late in the game, a group of 10 fans even came down to ice level and threw their Heatley jerseys onto the ice. Heatley saw a significant drop-off in his 2nd year with San Jose, recording only 64 points, the worst since his rookie season. On July 3, 2011, Heatley was traded to the Minnesota Wild for Martin Havlat. While putting up a solid 53-point season, the Wild ultimately failed to reach the playoffs despite a hot start to the year. Heatley only played in 36 games the following season, due to the 2012-13 lockout and a dislocated shoulder suffered during an altercation with former teammate Marc-Edouard Vlasic. The following year saw Heatley's production fall off a cliff with only 28 points in 76 games. Entering free agency, Heatley signed a 1-year, $1 million deal with the Anaheim Ducks, but by December was sent down to the AHL's Norfolk Admirals with no points in 6 games. Later claimed on waivers by the Florida Panthers, he reported to their AHL affiliate, the San Antonio Rampage. Heatley spent the 2015-2016 season in the DEL in Germany before retiring. He was hired by the Philadelphia Flyers as a pro scout prior to the 2023-24 season. The 2001 NHL Draft, the Ottawa Senators select Jason Spezza. The 2nd overall pick originally belonged to the New York Islanders, but on draft day, they traded it to the Ottawa Senators, along with Zdeno Chara and Bill Muckelt, in exchange for Alexei Yashin. In the OHL, Spezza spent time with the Brampton Battalion, Mississauga Ice Dogs, Windsor Spitfires, and Belleville Bulls. He was named top CHL prospect prior to the Senators selecting him. Spezza made his NHL debut for the Sens in the 2002-03 season, playing in 33 games and recording 21 points. He scored his first NHL goal on October 29, 2002, against the Flyers. However, he played the majority of the season in the AHL with the Binghamton Senators. Despite this, Spezza made his playoff debut on May 21, 2003, assisting the game winner in a series against New Jersey that saw the Sens come within 1 game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Spezza played his first full NHL season in 2003-2004 and scored 22 goals and 55 points in 78 games. However, due to the lockout next season, he returned to the AHL, scoring 117 points with Binghamton to capture the John B. Sullenberger Trophy as the league's leading scorer and the Les Cunningham Award as league MVP. Returning to Ottawa in 05-06, Spezza found himself on the pizza line we mentioned earlier with Alfredsson and Heatley. While Heatley set the franchise goal record, Spezza set a franchise season assist record with 71. All 3 members of the cash line also tied to set a franchise playoff point record with 22 apiece. Beginning the 07-08 season on the last year of his contract, Spezza signed a 7-year, $49 million extension with the Senators. Late that season, Spezza scored his first NHL hat trick during a 6-1 Sens victory over the Montreal Canadiens. Spezza contributed to all of his team's goals for a career-high 6-point game. He finished the season tying his career high in goals with 34 and establishing a new personal mark for points with 92. The 08-09 season was a disappointing one for both Spezza and the Senators. His point production decreased as he managed 73 points the lowest since his rookie season. The team struggled all season long and would miss the playoffs for the first time since 1995-96. Despite missing 22 games due to injury in the 2009-10 season, Spezza managed to score 23 goals and pick up 57 points in 60 games to finish second on the team in scoring. However, in the Senators' first-round defeat at the hands of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Spezza's poor defensive play and costly turnovers resulted in him being booed by Ottawa fans. Trade speculation ran rampant, but no move occurred. In 2011-12, Spezza was named an alternate captain and finished 4th in league scoring, earning consideration for the Hart Memorial Trophy, but he was not a finalist. After beginning the 2012-13 season in the Swiss League due to the lockout, Spezza registered 2 goals and 3 assists in 5 games before a back injury sidelined him until the 3rd game of Ottawa's Eastern Conference semifinal series loss against Pittsburgh. On September 14, 2013, Spezza was named the 8th captain in Senators franchise history, replacing longtime teammate Daniel Alfredsson, who signed with the Detroit Red Wings in free agency. As captain, he put up 23 goals and 43 assists for 66 points, but the Sens missed the playoffs. It was then revealed by GM Brian Murray that Spezza had requested a trade, and he was soon dealt to the Dallas Stars along with Ludwig Karlsson in exchange for Alex Chiasson, Alex Guptill, Nick Paul, and a second-round pick. That November, he signed a 4-year extension with the Stars with an AAV of $7.5 million. He recorded 17 goals, 45 assists, and 62 points in all 82 games in his first season with the Stars, as they missed the 2015 playoffs. His offensive production improved the following season, putting up 33 goals, 30 assists, and 63 points as the Stars made the playoffs as the top seed in the Western Conference, but fell to the St. Louis Blues in 7 games in Round 2. In 2016-17, the Stars missed the playoffs despite a 50-point effort from Spezza. The following year, they missed yet again, but only by 3 points, whereas Spezza's production began to decline. On October 30th, 2018, in a 4-1 win over the Montreal Canadiens, Spezza played in his 1,000th career NHL game. He finished the 2018-19 NHL season with 8 goals, 18 assists, and 27 points, and the Stars got back into the playoffs, only to lose in 7 games in Round 2 to the St. Louis Blues yet again. As a free agent, Spezza signed a 1-year $700,000 contract for the 2019-20 season with the Toronto Maple Leafs, his childhood favorite team. However, Spezza was scratched for Toronto's opening night game against his former team, the Ottawa Senators, in a highly criticized move by Toronto's head coach, Mike Babcock. Spezza spent 3 seasons with the Leafs, putting up 25 points twice and 30 points once, and played in a depth role. Following the Leafs' elimination in the first round of the 2002 Stanley Cup playoffs by the Tampa Bay Lightning, Spezza announced his retirement after 19 seasons in the NHL. Spezza retired with 995 career NHL points, the most of any player who never hit 1,000. He transitioned into an office role as special assistant to general manager Kyle Dubas, who he followed to the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. The 2002 NHL Draft, the Atlanta Thrashers select Kari Lehtonen. The Finnish goaltender was drafted following a successful year in the Finnish Elite League, winning the awards given to the league's best goalie and playoff MVP. Making his move to North America for the 2003-2004 season, Lehtonen mostly spent time with the Chicago Wolves of the AHL. Called up and playing in 4 games for the Thrashers, Lehtonen went 4-0 and posted 1 shutout. In the 4 games, he put up a .953 save percentage and .125 goals against average. Lehtonen spent the 04-05 NHL lockout season with the Wolves, adjusting to the North American playing style. Lehtonen started the 05-06 season as the starting goalie for Atlanta, but suffered a serious groin injury when Florida Panthers center Nathan Horton collided with him on opening night. Shortly into the 06-07 season, Lehtonen broke the Atlanta Thrashers' shutout streak record and set career highs in every category. He also became the Thrashers' franchise leader for wins by a goaltender with 49 and started in their first ever playoff game. By February 9, 2010, Lehtonen was traded to the Dallas Stars in exchange for Ivan Vishnevsky and a 4th-round draft pick. Dallas then signed the goaltender to a 3-year, $10.65 million extension. In his first full season with the Stars, Lehtonen compiled a 34-24 record with a .914 save percentage. He led the NHL in games played at 65 and minutes played with 3,804 in 2013-2014. Lehtonen made the playoffs with the Stars for the first time in 2014, competing with Antti Niemi for the starter's role, as the two alternated for the next 2 years. Lehtonen earned his 300th win on December 13, 2017, in a game against the New York Islanders by making 32 saves to clinch a 5-2 win, winning just 10 more before retiring at season's end. The 2003 NHL Draft, the Carolina Hurricanes select Eric Staal. In his draft year, the oldest of the 4 hockey-playing Staal brothers led the Peterborough Petes in scoring with 39 goals and 98 points. His great hands and 6'4" frame helped him jump from junior hockey to the NHL as a 19-year-old. He played 81 games during the 03-04 season, finishing 9th among rookies with 31 points and finishing 15th in Calder voting. After spending the 04-05 lockout in the AHL, Staal took his place among the NHL's elite in 05-06. With 45 goals and 100 points, he cracked the league's top 10 in each category and was 4th in Hart Trophy voting. Staal then helped lead the Hurricanes to their first Stanley Cup in 2006, topping all players with 28 points. Following the successful season, Staal signed a 3-year, $13.5 million contract extension with the Hurricanes. On April 28, 2009, Staal capped an improbable comeback by scoring the series-winning goal with 31.7 seconds remaining in Game 7 of Carolina's first-round series against the New Jersey Devils. His game-winning goal led to the comeback victory, being nicknamed Shock at the Rock. The Hurricanes went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, ultimately losing to the eventual Stanley Cup champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Staal was named Hurricanes captain in 2011 and led the team in scoring 8 times from 05-06 through 2014-2015. On February 28, 2016, Staal, in the final year of his contract, was traded to the New York Rangers in exchange for Alexi Sarelia and 2 second-round draft picks. Eric joined brother Mark in New York, but struggled for the Rangers, recording 6 points in 20 regular season games and 0 points in a 5-game loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. On the first day of free agency in 2016, Staal signed a 3-year contract with the Minnesota Wild. The move to Minnesota appealed to revitalize Staal as he scored 28 goals and 65 points. This prompted a 2-year contract extension. On December 15, 2019, Staal became the 89th player all-time to score 1,000 career points when he scored a power play goal against the Chicago Blackhawks. Staal was traded by Minnesota to the Buffalo Sabres in exchange for forward Marcus Johansson on September 16, 2020, and put up 10 points in 32 games. On March 26, 2021, the Buffalo Sabres traded Staal to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for 3rd and 5th round picks in the 2021 draft. As a Hab, he only dressed for 21 games and put up just 3 points. Staal did not play an NHL game in the 2021-22 season, signing a PTO with the Florida Panthers in July 2022, joining his brother Mark. Shortly after that, Staal signed a 1-year contract with Florida and put up 29 points in 72 games. Eric Staal remains an unrestricted free agent and has not yet officially retired. The 2004 NHL Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins select Evgeni Malkin. Had any other team drafted the Russian center, he would have been the face of their franchise. And had Alex Ovechkin not been in this draft, Malkin would have been a slam dunk at number 1. The argument is honestly there between those two based on cup rings alone. Malkin began his career with his hometown club in the KHL, coming to North America for the 06-07 season. His NHL debut was delayed until October 18, 2006, because of a shoulder injury, but he scored against future Hockey Hall of Fame goalie Martin Brodeur of the New Jersey Devils in his first NHL game. Malkin went on to set a modern-day NHL record with at least 1 goal in the first 6 games of his career. That was the first of many notable NHL accomplishments for Malkin, who won the Calder Trophy as the NHL's top rookie following a 33-goal, 85-point season. He has won 3 Stanley Cup championships with the Penguins in 2009, 2016, and 2017, as well as the Hart Trophy as the NHL's MVP in 2011-12, the Art Ross Trophy as the league's leading scorer twice in 08-09 and 2011-2012, the Ted Lindsay Award as the top player in the NHL as selected by the players in 2011-12, and the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP in 2009. Gino has surpassed 100 points in a single season 3 times, including an NHL career-high 113 points in 08-09 and scored 50 goals in 2011-2012. Again, had he not been playing with Sidney Crosby, he'd be the face of the Pittsburgh Penguins to this day. And like Crosby, as well as Chris Letang, Malkin seems like a surefire future Hockey Hall of Famer with number 71 one day up in the rafters at PPG Paints Arena. 2005 NHL Draft, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim select Bobby Ryan. There's no shame in being number 2, particularly if Sidney Crosby is number 1, but expectations were still quite high for Bobby Ryan. Rather than join USA's Hockey National Team Development Program, he played for Owen Sound of the Ontario Hockey League from 2003 to 2007, finishing with 89, 95, and 102 points in his final 3 seasons there. Ryan split 07-08 between Anaheim and its AHL affiliate Portland, scoring 5 goals and 10 points in 23 games for the Ducks. His first career NHL goal was in his debut against the Los Angeles Kings at the O2 Arena in London, England. He followed that up with the first of 4 straight 30-goal seasons, scoring 57 points and finishing as a runner-up to Steve Mason in voting for the Calder. The 57 points also set a Ducks rookie record. On January 8, 2009, Ryan scored his first hat-trick against the Los Angeles Kings, becoming the first Ducks rookie to score 3 goals in a game. On September 14, 2010, just prior to the 2010-11 season, the Ducks signed Ryan to a 5-year, $25.5 million extension. On December 12th, during a game against the Minnesota Wild, left-handed captain Mikko Koivu stole Ryan's stick well in the Ducks' offensive zone, whereupon the right-handed Ryan picked up Koivu's stick and scored a goal with it. On July 5, 2013, Ryan was acquired by the Ottawa Senators in exchange for forwards Jakob Silfverberg, Stefan Nolsson, and a first-round draft pick in 2014. Ryan registered 23 goals and 48 points in his first season with the Senators, which was cut short by injury. On October 2, 2014, the Senators signed Ryan to a 7-year, $50.75 million contract extension. He continued to be a productive playoff performer, scoring 2 goals in the Senators' 6-game first-round loss to the Montreal Canadiens in 2015, and then 15 points in 19 games to help the Senators reach the Eastern Conference Final in 2017. Ryan won the Bill Masterton Trophy as the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey in 2019-20 after he took a 3-month leave from the Senators to enter the NHL-NHLPA Player Assistance Program, citing issues with alcohol abuse. Shortly after winning the award, the Senators bought out the remaining 2 years of his contract. As a free agent, he signed with the Detroit Red Wings, where he put up 14 points in 33 games. Still in the final year of his buyout, Ryan is getting paid by the Sens, but is now retired and co-hosts an Ottawa Senators podcast called Coming in Hot. The 2006 NHL Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins select Jordan Staal. The second Staal on our list also played junior for the OHL's Peterborough Petes, putting up 16 points in the playoffs to help lead Peterborough to the J. Ross Robertson Cup as OHL champions. Making the immediate jump to the NHL at the age of 18, Staal set several NHL records in his rookie season, including the youngest player to score on a penalty shot, to score 2 shorthanded goals in 1 game, to score a hat trick, and the most shorthanded goals by a rookie in 1 season, scoring 29 goals and 42 points in 81 games. He was a Calder nominee. On January 8, 2009, the Penguins announced that they had extended Staal's contract through the 2012-13 season. He completed the season with a career-high 27 assists and 49 points. Staal went on to win the Stanley Cup as a member of the Penguins in 2009, scoring 9 points in 24 games during the playoffs. At the end of the regular season, Staal was also named as one of the 3 finalists for the Selke Trophy, awarded to the season's best defensive forward, along with Pavel Datsyuk and Ryan Kesler. Staal missed the beginning of the 2010-11 season after undergoing foot surgery and made his season debut at the NHL Winter Classic. Staal recorded his first playoff hat trick against the Philadelphia Flyers in a 10-3 victory on April 18, 2012. He would finish the series with 6 goals as the Penguins lost to the Flyers in 6 games, their second consecutive first-round playoff exit. On June 22, 2012, Staal was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes in exchange for Brandon Suter, Brian Dumoulin, and the Hurricanes' 8th overall pick, joining his brother Eric on the Canes. Staal signed a 10-year, $60 million extension with Carolina. In 2019, Staal was named captain of the Hurricanes and played in his 1000th NHL game on April 12, 2021. Staal signed a 4-year, $11.6 million contract to stay with the Carolina Hurricanes on June 25, 2023, in lieu of becoming an unrestricted free agent. There he remains the longest-tenured member of the Hurricanes. The 2007 NHL Draft, the Philadelphia Flyers select James Van Riemsdyk. When the forward was selected number 2 behind Patrick Kane, it marked the first time that 2 American-born players had been picked in the first 2 spots. Unlike Kane, who made the jump to the NHL right after being drafted, Van Riemsdyk headed to the University of New Hampshire, where he had 28 goals and 74 points in 2 seasons. Van Riemsdyk got an assist in his first NHL game against the Carolina Hurricanes, and then had 2 more assists the next day against the New Jersey Devils. He scored his first NHL goal October 24, 2009, against the Florida Panthers. JVR had 15 goals and 35 points in 78 games for the Flyers as a rookie in 2009-10, and finished 11th in the voting for the Calder Trophy, then scoring 21 goals in 2010-11. Following an injury-riddled season, Van Riemsdyk spent the 2012 offseason as the subject of a number of trade rumors, eventually traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs in exchange for defenseman Luke Schenn. When the season began after the lockout, Van Riemsdyk proceeded to score 8 goals in his first 14 games. He finished the 48-game regular season with 18 goals and 14 assists, and helped take the Leafs to their first playoff appearance since 2005. JVR spent a few seasons on the struggling Leafs top line with Phil Kessel and Tyler Bozak, but was shuffled when Mike Babcock was brought on as head coach. Missing much of the 2015-16 season with a fractured foot, Van Riemsdyk was eager to begin playing alongside rising stars like Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. As a veteran on the Leafs that season, Van Riemsdyk set a personal best 62 points. With the Leafs falling to the Bruins in Round 1 of the 2018 playoffs, Van Riemsdyk entered free agency and signed a 5-year, $35 million contract to return to the Philadelphia Flyers. In his first season back with Philly, Van Riemsdyk scored 27 goals and 48 points in 66 games. By the 2019-20 season, JVR became prone to pointless streaks, but in the 2020-21 shortened season, Van Riemsdyk scored 43 points, tying Claude Giroux and Jakub Voracek for the team lead. Van Riemsdyk joined the Boston Bruins as a free agent for the 2023-24 season. The 2008 NHL Draft, the Los Angeles Kings select Drew Doughty. The defenseman played juniors for the Guelph Storm of the OHL, where he was twice voted the league's top offensive defenseman. Doughty made the Kings at age 18 out of training camp in 08-09, becoming the second youngest defenseman in franchise history. Doughty scored his first NHL goal against the Colorado Avalanche on October 20th, 2008, and finished the season with 6 goals and 27 points, tying for the league lead in scoring and assists among rookie defensemen, and finished 5th in voting for the Calder Trophy. In 2009-10, Doughty helped the Kings return to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 2002, tying for the team lead in goals at 3 and points at 7. He had 4 points in the Kings' 5-3 win against the Vancouver Canucks in Game 3 of the first round. In 2010, at the age of 20, Doughty became the second youngest finalist behind Bobby Orr for the Norris Trophy, awarded to the NHL's top defenseman. Among NHL defensemen, he was tied for second with 16 goals and was third with 59 points. In the 2012 playoffs, Doughty tied for the NHL lead with 12 assists and was 5th with 16 points as the LA Kings won their very first Stanley Cup. In 2014, Doughty led all NHL defensemen in playoff scoring with 5 goals and 18 points as the LA Kings again won the hardest trophy to win in all of sports, the Stanley Cup. The Kings named him alternate captain prior to the 2015-16 season when he became the second player in franchise history to win the Norris Trophy. Doughty is also the first defenseman in LA Kings history to get 600 points, and his 112th multi-point game surpassed Rob Blake for the most in team history at the position. On October 21, 2023, Doughty played his 1100th NHL game, becoming the 12th defenseman in NHL history to play 1,100 games with one franchise. Drew Doughty remains an undeniable co-face of the Los Angeles Kings alongside Ozzy Kopitar. The 2009 NHL Draft, the Tampa Bay Lightning selected Victor Hedman, and the argument that he should have gone first over John Tavares is a compelling one. After earning Rookie of the Year honors in the Swedish Elite League as an 18-year-old, Victor Hedman joined the Lightning for the 2009-10 season and had an assist in his first NHL game, scoring his first goal in a 4-0 victory against the New York Islanders on December 5th. He owned his defensive game early and has since become a standout at both ends of the ice with his blend of size and speed. Hedman's play during the 2015 playoffs helped Tampa Bay advance to the Stanley Cup Final against the Chicago Blackhawks. He would have been a prime candidate for the Conn Smythe Trophy had the Lightning won the series and the Cup. Widely considered to be one of the best defensemen in the NHL to this day, Hedman is a 5-time Norris Trophy finalist, winning the award in 2018 after helping the Lightning win the Atlantic Division and finish first in the Eastern Conference. Hedman was a core piece of the Tampa Bay Lightning teams that won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 2020 and 2021, even winning the Conn Smythe Trophy as the MVP of the 2020 playoffs. On December 4, 2023, Hedman became the third player in Tampa Bay Lightning history to reach the milestone of 1,000 games played, joining Vincent Lecavalier and Steven Stamkos. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed, and click subscribe for more NHL content. We'll see you in the next video.